If we go to back to make, we have several options of using regex. I'll show you first a bit standard one. So I will put the same text here, okay, for my data, and we will start to explore these modules. That calls text parsers, right? And they use a regex. So first, simplest one calls match pattern, and that utilizes exactly the system that we've just used. So I can quickly go to my regex that I created, click copy, and paste here, but not everything, but the parts of this stuff. So first of all, regex, when you do a copy, it copies these pieces of slashes, right? So it's kind of encapsulated in slashes, plus it has this GM, which means global and multi-line flags. So that literally explain the regex, what exactly you want to match into. So global and multi-line means I want to don't return after first match. So if I got, well, you remember what we did with the names, right? Because of flag global, I got 2 matches. Multi-line means we process multi-line text and so on and so on. So it could be like several of these flags. We won't go deep now in this stuff, but just you to know and understand, we have the same flags in this module here. So potentially, right, to match what we did, I have to put, again, global on and M. So just G and M, 2 flags to make it happen. And as a text, I just put my data. Let's see what will happen in this case, because that should utilize potentially this pattern in make. And that's what we've got, right? So we got 1 match, right? And we got exactly our thing. That's just because I call it name group lowercase. We can just rename it to make it nicer. And that's how we can process text like this, where you have lines and the stuff between them. So just to remind you real quick, a structure of this pattern. So let's maybe draw it somewhere. It would work like this. What is cool in regex 101, you can save this. Just click hit save. You got a link, okay? And then you can go back to this link like anytime with this one version. So literally to outline this pattern, it would work like this. Say group name. Here will be your match before the text you use, plus you have a group that goes inside the parentheses, plus we have this question mark here that starts our name capture group. It goes before the group name. In this type of things, we have the name of the group, right? And there's like triangle parentheses or triangle brackets, right? We have this group name, right? And then we have exact match inside the group. So again, in my case, that's my group, right? So it starts after this and goes until the end of the line, right? So then you can use this pattern. So then we add a new line to add more, because our purpose is fully match the whole text and then return. So we have 1 match and everything. So there are like a ton of ways to do it. But even though it's more or less looks okay, but as soon as you got to real regex, usually it becomes way more complicated. We have advanced module. So going further to modules, it doesn't change too much, to be honest. It just have maybe a bit more things where you can search regular pattern expression. So let's try to place the same pattern, remove the headers, put my headers to G and M. See how this will work. It has discontinued execution and show settings. So that's probably will be a difference. So we can just ignore infinite loops, because sometimes if you have like a multiple match, it may result to long module execution and so on. So comparing to this just doesn't have this, or even this one has ignore. So difference only in patterns and how the data returns. So see here, so it returns with the indexes. It returns literally array, and inside of this array, we got this and this. It's closer to like a programming style. Technically works like this. So you have text, so you have a pattern, and you replace a pattern inside the text with a something. So real quick, we can do with a phone number in the whole text, for example, like this. Again, just because I have the only numbers here, and in this particular structure, you can say like, okay, I need a regex just like this. And how do you do a regex? This time to come to play with our advanced helper, right? And that thing does a magic. Even on the free model, not GPT-4, even GPT 3.5, it will help you to build amazing things. So you simply put something like build regex to match this inside a text. So we're going to use the simplest one. So let's see, it should create quick and nice regex. So as you see here, matches a word boundary in string, and it explains you how it does. So let's test this out, or you can click the copy to see our result. So as you see, works nice, and I can grab and match my number. And let's try to utilize this inside our make scenario to replace my phone number in a whole text. So I have my text here, I have my pattern, which is this, and I'm going to put a new value for this number. So say I want to put it like 997. So just in case, let's make it global also and multiple. And let's try to see the result on this one. So that returned me a text, right? Because the purpose of this thing is replace a text inside the text. It replaces a pattern that matches to something, this is pattern, to a new value, right? So doing this, we replace the phone number in that text to something different. So quickly finish with these guys. You will get a logic quickly. So we have the predefined patterns for you to find, say, link text inside the HTML. This again, where our guide is super helpful. Generate HTML with the anchors and images. Here you go. We got some anchor here, which is hyperlink, and an image. So if I go to my HTML and paste this here, I will ask this module return me a links only. That should grab my links inside the text. If I want to get images, that give me an image. So super simple. And that's my image. So this is HTML, and that gets content from HTML table. So let's get the HTML table. So we got a table built, and let's try to see how that thing will parse the HTML table. It will continue, strip HTML from contents, and skip the first row. So we won't skip the first row. We want to see the header, and let's see how that works. So we got headers, and we got a row. So see how easily that can parse any HTML table without building any regexes. So basically, this already done for you. HTML to text simply converts HTML to piece of text. I'm not sure if that's like super useful for you, but sometimes you need it, like see different line breaks you can use here for case headings and so on. So with this table probably won't make too much sense, but still not bad. And you can even go and build some CSV probably maybe from it. The last one, match elements, it's a universal thing similar to match elements for HTML. So you have a ton of patterns here, like an emojis, you have the IP addresses, you have pair key values, phone numbers, FTP, HTTP addresses, email, and so on. So you got a point, right? So you simply put some text here and then select, so for example, my email from our data will automatically match. So I don't need any regexes for it. So it just simplifies your job.